What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Canelo Alverez. Canelo Alverez with the PBC, they are willing to do the one-fight deal with him and Plant September 18th. PBC is reportedly willing to give Canelo Alverez the one-fight deal that he and his promoter Eddie Hearn have been asking for to make the September 18th fight with Caleb Plant. ESPN Knockout is reporting that the news of the PBC giving Canelo Alverez the one fight deal to face IBF super middleweight champion Caleb Plant. This is a huge step back from the 3-fight deal that they were asking for, according to Hearn. Canelo wasn't going to agree to a 3-fight deal for him to fight on PBC just so that he could get the chance to meet Plant, which is 21-0 with 12 knockouts for the undisputed championship at 168. If Plant were a massive star and not just an obscure Fox Network champion, PBC would have a better chance of getting Canelo to agree to a multi-fight deal. But that's not the case. Now it's up to Hearn and PBC to agree on the purse for Plant, who reportedly wanted $10 million to face Canelo. That's more than what the former 168-pound Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Smith got for their fight against Canelo. Plant argues that he's better known than Sanders and Smith to U.S. boxing fans, and that his recent fight with IBF champion Caleb Truax brought in a lot more views on Fox. Canelo Plant might be shown on Fox pay-per-view, which will be a big gamble because if it doesn't pull in enough buys to cover the purses for two fighters, it would be bad for both promoters. Now, let me counterpunch. First off, we have to look at the star power of Canelo. We have to give credit to Al Heyman in Fox because, you know, normally it's like our way or no way. You know what I mean? But then you're dealing with the cash cow. He's the biggest star in the sport, okay? So that's Canelo Alvarez. So if you did want that fight, one is better than none at all. So they were trying to cut their losses like, yo, we would like 3, but then it's Caleb Plant. The guy only has 21 fights. His biggest win on his record is, what's the guy that got sucker punched? Uzcategui, right? Uzcategui, right? Excuse me. That's his biggest win of his career, which was a very impressive win, I might add. And he was the underdog, and he showed up and showed out. So, fair play to Caleb Plant, and I like Caleb Plant. I think Caleb Plant is a good boxer. I think he is. He has the potentials to be a star on top of his story and his struggle. Okay, that adds more to the pot because this is a real man. However, is he bigger than Billy Joe Saunders? No, not really. Why? Because Billy Joe Saunders was over here in the States. It wasn't necessarily in America, but it was definitely in Americas when he took on David Lemieux on HBO, okay? And he showed up and showed out too. So I don't think that he's bigger than Billy Joe. Now, as far as Caleb Smith, I think that he is maybe neck and neck with him. I think in the States, he definitely has it. People know Caleb Plant more than Smith. And I would agree with that, though. But Billy Joe, no. Because Billy Joe did outbox and box circles and made look foolish at times a knockout artist with the hard-hitting David Lemieux, which was prepped to fight Canelo at some point or the other. But Billy Joe indirectly stopped him from doing that. And I mean, that was years ago at 160. So, we have to call it what it is with that factor. Also, $10 million I don't think should be a bad number for Caleb Plant. But if they're going to give him $10 million, it has to be on the zone. Why? Because the guarantee is worth more. And if I'm Caleb Plant, I would disregard what my promoter or advisor would be telling me to try to host it on PBC, because PBC ain't guaranteed to make that number to get him the money that he wants to go in there against the hard-hitting El Cinnamon. Okay, so I would go for the zone if I'm Caleb Plant. Get the guarantee. Don't fall for the trick. Don't fall for the potentials. Get the money, because there's no guarantee what'll happen in that fight. Because Canelo right now is breaking bones when he hits. Okay, so we don't really know what could happen with Canelo and Caleb Plant. Canelo could go in there and have a great performance, kind of like a Erislandy Lauda type performance and make it controversial. But then again, we don't know that because Canelo, again, is a guy that knows how to cut off the ring. His head movement is impeccable. You know, his defense is impregnable. And and he is a bad mother sucker when it comes to defense and offense. So, I feel that this is a good step for boxing. I think this fight should happen because we know we had let down in the heavyweight division. No need to say names. We already know. So this fight is definitely a fight that I look forward to, but I'm glad that at least we got over that hump, you know, of the struggle and the war of promoters and networks with PBC and DAZN. I'm glad this is agreed upon, and I think that was a major hurdle that was launched. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of PBC with Al Heyman willing to give the one fight deal to Canelo Alvarez to take on the undefeated IBF champion, the last of this name, Caleb Plant, Sweet Hands. Tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.